Gamer Feed Radio.
What's going on, everybody out there in podcast universe? This is Gamer Feed Radio. I'll be your host this evening, Nick Delicave, joined by my three best buds in all things gaming, the one and only Brad Wallace and Kyle Pope. What's up, guys?
Woo! Not much.
There's only two of us.
There's only two of us.
Unless
you were saying that we are.
I was referring to myself. Right? Maybe
sure.
You are the best friend of yourself?
Yeah.
Aren't we all?
I don't know if we.
That's really deep.
We'll let that go. Perhaps a Freudian slip. But anyway, welcome everybody to Gamer Feed Radio. Today's topic is going to be all the fun things that have come out literally in the last week, and I do mean literally.
Yeah.
We're calling it the fall Blockbuster Blowout or something like that. Anyway, lots of cool stuff to talk about, and we'll touch on Fallout and Blops 3 and Battlefront and more. But before we do that, because it wouldn't be any fun if we didn't, perhaps it's time for just a little bit of that sweet, sweet, sweet memory card lane.
Oh, there it is.
Uh-huh. You can totally hear it.
The trees are alive.
Nick is totally not the only person who can hear this right now.
Hey, that's amazing. I'm glad that it has finally gone ahead and hit up everybody. So for those of you who are totally clueless and went, why did he just say the trees are alive? It's an old joke. You're strongly encouraged to go back somewhere in the many, many episodes and try to figure it out, because I'm pretty sure it started out as a spoof on something. And
I believe it was John Denver.
In fact, it was John Denver, actually, now that you say that. So Memory Card Lane is where we used to have a giant book, 1001 Video Games You Should Play Before You Die. That book currently resides with one of our cohorts, and so we don't have it. Therefore, we go back in time and just pick whatever the hell we want. And so today's is the original Mortal Kombat, which came out in 1992.
Ooh.
Memories about that game. It was kind of like... this was the game, right, that caused all the controversy and I think really started the rating system besides Hillary Clinton, but we won't talk about that. And...
True.
You had the Nintendo version, which was super clean and PC.
It had sweat.
A sweat, quote.
Yeah.
And then the Sega Genesis version, which was Nintendo, had blood all over everything. So, I obviously played the game. It was amazing. But I'll defer first to my friends' thoughts on this fantastic game.
Never played it.
Oh, really?
I'm pretty sure that's a sin, but...
I've played, there was 1 through 3 were, the original... That's,
right.
The trilogy, quote-unquote.
Yeah,
But, I don't know. It's one of those games that's really important in video game history, because I think the ESRB was actually created right after this game. It was the first game to get, the M rating, because it was the first game to really get ratings
right
at the time. Before then, it was all this, it would have on the box, suggested for this age, but it was the first time they actually, had a system, a self-regulating, kind of like movies have with the G, PG, R, or whatever.
The first time everyone in the world started freaking out about video games. Yeah, I remember that. I know... Just from history alone, it was the reason why I almost never started playing video games, because my parents saw that.
I was totally going to see it, yeah.
By my parents, I mean my mother, obviously. And it was just oh, we can't have our kid playing that. And then, my uncle showed my mom Super Mario. I was like, no, video games are harmless. It's thank you, Uncle Don.
Yeah.
And, and really, probably the reason why I never played it is because I never got my hands on any of those games. I remember I had the most violent game I ever had as a kid until I was like 13 was 007.
Oh, yeah.
And then my mom took it away from me because she saw me get killed and saw the blood drip down the screen. That's how much of a narc my mom was. So I wasn't really enjoyed. I mean, I wasn't really introduced to the violent video game world until I was a teenager. So, yeah, never played Mortal Kombat.
Well, that's okay. Until I was much further along in high school, my mom wouldn't let me watch, any of the kids watch The Simpsons. That was like the crudest, dirtiest show on television, and it was like the Camel cigarettes, right? It's the advertising to rope the kids in, and with all this, very countercultural jokes at the time. And of course, now my mom thinks the Family Guy, which is 10 times worse than The Simpsons, is the funniest thing on earth. So,
right.
how times have changed.
Yeah.
This was time before South Park too, so.
Yeah. Brad, any thoughts on your end? Did you play? You played, obviously, it sounds like bits and pieces.
Yeah, I played it. I actually played it like in the arcades.
Nice,
which
yeah.
is kind of like the
That dates
workaround
you.
there. You're right.
Well, at least you existed at that time, so you could enjoy it.
I mean, I existed at like 3. Like, not Metal Gear, God. Mortal Kombat 3. So that's kind of my...
You can't go a single episode, can you?
I know, it's like I wasn't even trying to say Metal Gear.
Speaking of
It started
Freudian
with an M,
slips,
and it
yeah.
worked. But I've since played, and it's just, I think the funny thing is fighting games are usually so like mechanically perfect and solid. We kind of talked about this the other couple episodes ago or something. But Mortal Kombat's one that really like isn't. It's just more about the flashy, goofy, one-on-one combat stuff, which actually makes it like the most approachable kind of game, like for non-hardcore fighting game people. Mm-hmm. Like Street Fighter is a game that if you just jump in, you'll have a little bit of fun, but if you try to play any other real human online, you'll get your ass whooped and it's just like miserable. But Mortal Kombat, anyone can pretty much have fun, and it's like weapon-based, or at least the newer ones are. I don't know if the older ones were exactly. I can't remember. I don't think they exactly were.
I don't know when they made the transition, but you're right.
Yeah. So that was kind of different about them too. But the big thing about it was just kind of the cultural impact it had, rather than like the game impact it had. Yeah,
and well, except for
those
Goro, who was
photorealistic
evil,
graphics, which are really creepy looking on 16-bit consoles.
Yeah, I mean, unless you were trying to beat Goro, and he proved to be quite the adversary.
Yeah, one of those classic impossible fighting.
Yeah, and then you play the final boss, and it's like, well, why was that so hard? You know what I mean? Yeah, that was a fun trick in the 16-bit generation. Darn you, publishers. That's all I'm saying. Wow. On that note, I think it's probably safe to say that's all the comment we have. But if you have any thoughts on Mortal Kombat, the original or the series, feel free to let us know. Yeah. Okay, and now it's time for our feature presentation. This week, we're talking about all the crazy stuff that just came out in the last week. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, my goodness, you live under a rock. It's pretty much been in every major news source, and I mean like, quote, mainstream news, not even just video game channels. So, all kinds of fun there. So to get us kicked off on the new release mania, we'll go ahead and start with Fallout 4, the much anticipated sequel to Fallout 3 and New Vegas and all the other derivations that came out between there. Obviously, it's available for all next-gen platforms. Apparently, in 3 days, they sold like 12 million copies or something insane like that.
Yeah, that's incredible.
I mean, it's like it set records as the most successful game launch ever recorded. And the ratings basically kind of back it up, aside from some of the glitchiness, which we'll talk about in just a minute. But, I mean, I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard a lot about it, or may have previous Fallout experience. I mean, what are your impressions on the blockbuster success of the launch?
I mean, I knew it was highly anticipated, but that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
It like exploded. It was like insane launch.
I mean, good for them. I mean, good for Bethesda and good for the Fallout series. I mean, I think it definitely has. It deserves its praise and its success, especially after Fallout 3. And I think that's really. I know it's gotten good. It has gotten good reviews, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the Metacritic's like 89 or something like that. Like it's.
Okay, so
it is lower than 3, but it's still like really, really good.
That's rock solid. Yeah, that's rock solid. I don't know. Like, I'm still kind of just like taking that in because I've never even heard of a video game selling 12 million copies before.
Yeah.
Grand Theft Auto 5 is the only one I could think of that might have been bigger, but maybe this is like a bigger because it was on PC because it was on 3 systems.
Sure.
It was on 2 systems.
Yeah,
right.
I forgot about that. It is multi-platform. I should have mentioned PC. But yeah, I mean, look, it came out to critical acclaim, and, a lot of people were giving it crap because, you have the season pass option for future expansions and DLC and a bunch of other things. But aside from the normal things that we like to complain about, I still love that, Brad. I wish it was a real sound effect.
You don't have to make it a real sound effect. I make it the real sound.
It just happens.
So I have Fallout 4. Of course, I got it. And
I was going to ask. I thought I saw you playing it the other day.
Yes, I have played probably 12 to 15 hours so far.
I thought you were going to say minutes.
No, that would have been
12 to 15 minutes.
Yeah, that wouldn't have been.
That's literally how long Nick could not go without playing Destiny.
Actually, it's a funny story because prior to this last week, I was traveling for work, as the listeners who listen regularly know, for 2 weeks. So there have been no video games in this house at all until Monday night, and then because my in-laws were in town this past weekend, and then tomorrow night we're leaving through the Thanksgiving holiday out of town, so I'm going to be stripped of all my gameage for another 10 days.
No.
So tonight is going to be, I might pull an all-nighter, I haven't decided yet.
You have to.
I'm just going to binge until I can't.
What it feels like to be me.
Exactly. I'm just going to binge until I can't stay awake anymore. But anyway, so I can tell you this. So the graphics are really pretty good, particularly environmentally. One of the reasons I almost didn't buy the game, and I know this is super shallow, is because, the graphics that were revealed prior to, which were limited, I was like, there's nothing here. I mean, it looks like Assassin's Creed, kind of that crappy looking, very bad mouthy, and admittedly, some of the animations could be better considering the, quote, big budget nature of the game, but overall, I think it's pretty fluid. I mean, there's lots of glitches. There are a lot of bugs. You really have to kind of look past all of that. And I think the world being as big, I know it is, but the world being as big as it is, and you literally having almost zero restrictions on where you can go, what you can do, it kind of makes up for that, except when you turn a corner and get killed instantly by something because you shouldn't be there, which happens a lot. There's a lot of dying. So
okay.
But anyway, the story's good. The so far anyway, and I'm really enjoying it. It definitely, I don't know quite what I was expecting because I'm totally new to the Fallout series in terms of playing the game. But I'm really enjoying it. I mean, it's pretty well done, and it's a neat version of history's futures past or whatever. But, so far, I mean, the mechanics are solid. I'm enjoying it. There's a lot. I mean, it's really, it almost crosses into the part about JRPGs that I am not a traditional JRPG, that I'm not a huge fan of, which is menus and menus and menus and menus of inventory and power-ups and trying to figure out where the hell everything goes. And I'm like, there's another part where you can, build a settlement and, have people come, and then you have to protect it. And I don't give a rat's about sim, Minecraft, rip-off, wannabe, and game engines. I just want to walk around the world. I want to shoot things, collect stuff, make my shooting things better, and beat the game. Like, I could care less about all the other distractions. But the nice thing is...
That's exactly how I feel about it. Like, as much as I love Bethesda games, and, like, I'm sure I would love the Fallout games, it's just, like, a time thing. Like, some of those games are so complicated that it's, like, all you can do for, like, as long as you're playing it, Yeah,
well, you can spend 30 minutes in the damn menus. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, right.
Exactly. It's really interesting you bring that up because that's one of the things that I really didn't like about Skyrim.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
There's
Skyrim's menus were really weak, even compared to, like, Oblivion.
Yeah,
I will admit to never playing Fallout 3, but I mean, I've like seen how it works with the Pip-Boy and all that.
It's so easy.
Yeah.
It's really easy. And Skyrim, I feel like there's a lot of menus and a lot of, like, the inventory was split up really weird. I'm just like,
yeah. I totally agree.
I can grab whatever I want. I can find what I want. Like, let me sort alphabetically, or maybe sort by like what type of item it is. That's not hard. You don't have to give me 6 different menus for spell books, swords, armor, etc.
Yeah.
Like, I can figure it out, people. It's okay. I can scroll.
Well, I mean, and that is one element to the game that's a little annoying. The other piece is, and I think I wasn't expecting this, and I don't know why I wasn't, but maybe it's just ignorance, but the actual FPS part of the game, because you can do it, you can do it in third person or first person. It's totally up to you, and I like that because some parts third person is way better because you can see more, like around the corners for monsters that can kill you in one hit. But in first person, you go and you go to shoot somebody, and they just it doesn't have that same impact or the realistic feel as compared to something like Destiny, where I know when I shoot the gun, it's going to blow their head off. Like, it's just, it's not, that connection isn't quite made. And so in many of the reviews and other, video game people that have talked about it, they're like, well, it's an RPG at its origin. It's really not a first-person shooter. It just has elements of that. And so if you were going in expecting it to be a, quote, shooter, it's not really that. I mean, it's there, you shoot things, that happens. But from a true FPS perspective, it's just not very good.
I don't know why people would expect it to be like that, though, because it really isn't a first-person shooter. It's an RPG.
Right. Well, but I mean, you can make the argument that Destiny is an MMO. It's not a real, quote, shooter if you compare it to something like Call of Duty, which we'll talk about next. But, I mean...
Yeah, but I feel like Destiny was marketed to shooters.
Well, that's okay, fair. That's fair. It could be ignorance, like I said. I claim ignorance.
It's like expecting like Mass Effect to be a great shooter. It's not really a shooter. It's an RPG.
Yeah.
On its value, Mass Effect is a terrible shooter. Yeah, that's because it's an RPG. It's not a shooter.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, overall, though, I got over the initial graphics thing. I plunked down for it. I've put some time in. I really enjoy it. The part I think I really like the most about it, and this is going to sound totally dumb, is that it's offline.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have to be online to play the game. So I'm like, ooh, I could totally take my PS4 with me to my in-laws and just lock myself in a room at night and play it. And not have to worry about their craptastic internet. You know what I mean? Like, that part I really like. It's been a long time.
Isn't that refreshing? Isn't it kind of, it's like equally sad but exciting that oh, it's a game that I don't have to be hooked up to the internet to play.
Yeah. It's terrific.
Yeah.
It's terrific.
When's the last time that happened?
I know, a real, meaty single. I mean, even though we already broke the ice on this one, but Metal Gear is one that is an offline single player game in so many respects. But even still,
damn it!
It is. One of the biggest releases of the year. It's the last one I played before a game that I'll talk about later. But even that game, it's a big single-player game. You log into Konami's servers at the beginning every time, and it's so stupid. I don't know. I don't get it.
So they can track all of the things that you don't want other people to know about. But anyway, look, I mean, it's a different approach. I really enjoy it. The game's fun. I like that it's not online. I don't have to worry about that as a core mechanic of the game, and therefore I don't have to worry about having a crappy time if the PlayStation Network blows up, or I can just be like, oh, that sucks for those people, and just punch it in and lose days, literally.
Yeah.
Excellent. Any other comments about Fallout 4?
Oh, I will say that, Kyle, you'll appreciate this. One of my buddies who got Fallout 4 on Xbox One got a free code for Fallout 3 on Xbox 360, and me never playing Fallout 3, I got the free code from him.
Nice.
So actually, maybe over the winter break, I am going to dive into that game. That'd be fun, because I love Bethesda games, but yeah.
It's seriously one of the best games ever made.
Oh,
I cannot wait to hear all about it after your winter break has completed.
So good. Right.
Excellent. Okay, good. So the next game on the list of craziness in terms of releases, and we talked just a little bit about this last week on the FPS show, so we don't want to spend too much time on it. It's Call of Duty Black Ops 3, otherwise known as Blops 3.
Blops.
Look, people love it. I mentioned this.
Of course they do.
Of course they do. I've mentioned this before, but I have like hundreds and hundreds of friends through the Dads of Destiny group, and a lot of those guys have basically jumped ship temporarily because they're lost in Blops, and they openly talk about it on the forums and everything. It's kind of funny. They're like, I'm sorry, man, I can't go do this because I'm too busy shooting up whatever the hell you're shooting this year. And they're just they just love it. Absolutely love the game.
Cynical.
I don't even know what the game's real. I'll be honest with you, I don't even know what it's about.
But we all, that's the hilarious part, is you don't even have to.
Right.
You know that it exists, and you basically know everything about the game. No matter what they change, no matter what they're big, pick 10, pick 13, multiplayer level system, zombie ops. It's just like you know exactly what the game is before they announce it. Yeah. I already know exactly what next year Call of Duty is. I know exactly what it is. It's going to be sort of sci-fi, sort of not, modern ops, blah, blah, blah. It's hilarious.
Oh, man.
That's my little mini rant.
No, it's a legit rant, Kyle.
I mean, yay.
Right.
So you can tell everyone that there aren't a lot of Blops people here, but look, it's interesting to me, right? Because I know that one of the previous versions was it just I don't know if it was it wasn't Black Ops. It was just, I think, straight up Call of Duty 4 or 3 or whatever. Wasn't very well received. I think there were a lot of people had a lot of issues with some of it, if my memory serves. Or am I making that up? Keep me honest.
Call of Duty 4 was Modern Warfare.
Yeah, because there's Call of Duty 4, but then there's Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3.
Okay.
Which is where it gets very bizarre, because it starts to split into different sub-series. You got your Modern Warfare, and you got your Black Ops, and then in between you got a Ghosts, and you got an Advanced Warfare, and you got a World at War.
Hey, because, we have to basically take the same... video game engine, change some skins, and then charge $60 for it 6 times a year.
Yeah.
Kind of dumb. Well, anyway, if you're a big fan of this series, you'll be pleased to know it's getting great reviews. I hope that you're enjoying it, because as I stated in the agenda, and I'm quoting now, quote, people love it. And that's excellent. Not to blow it off, if you feel like we didn't spend enough time or probably should have done more homework to actually give you the news that you really care about Black Ops 3, tell us in the comments. If not, shh.
Yeah.
Or not.
Or just don't.
Yeah, or just don't say anything, and
Yeah.
we'll talk about that too.
You could be just like, all right, yeah, we're kind of asses. We don't like Call of Duty.
Yeah, I mean, if you've been listening to us for any amount of time, I'm sure that you know
it's
which
no
of us
surprise,
is the larger one. Anyway,
yeah.
Excellent. So moving on, the most recent Blockbuster release is the one and only Star Wars Battlefront, and I have some fun little sound effects that I put in here. Let's see if I can get one of them to work. This is for Brad mostly. Ready?
I won't fail you.
I don't know if you could hear that.
I can't hear it.
Okay,
Yeah, we
was
can't hear
Luke.
that.
It was Luke Skywalker saying, "I won't fail you."
Nice.
If there was ever a reason to want to go back and listen, that was it, because I've got several
Right.
of them. Anyway, so Star Wars Battlefront, the much hyped and anticipated continuation of the series.
I
It's
hate
been a long
I
time
hate
coming.
this month so much.
Yeah. EA, which we have beat up left and right on this show in the past, is the publisher, and of course they're doing it in partnership with DICE, and it's out there. So Brad has had the game now for...
I own the game.
I actually own it too, but I haven't gotten
What?
past... I do, I
I didn't
own
know
it.
you got it. Oh, that's exciting.
I know. So maybe
We
we
have
can
to
go...
play it.
I am totally all about that.
You totally have to play.
In a year from now when I have a life. But anyway,
Right.
it's I only got basically through the menu system. It was really late last night. But anyway, so Impulse Buy. So it's out there. There were different versions of the game: Standard, Deluxe, Ultimate, and then of course there's a $50 season pass, which entitles you to the first 4 expansions, and so on. So with all that, Brad, I will turn it over to you for thoughts, impressions, and the things.
So speaking of Impulse Buy, that was almost exactly how I felt. I was kind of on the fence. I really wanted to get Fallout, but then for the reasons we were just talking about, I was kind of like, oh, it's just so much. Not that it's bad. It's just like, do I really want to commit that much energy to this massive RPG again? And I had just played my last real game, because I played Yoshi like a month ago, and that's just like a tiny game that you can beat in like 5 days. But like the last one I played was, not to bring it up again, Metal Gear. It's like this massive, it's like this massive, exhausting 50-hour thing, and I was just like, by the end of it, I was kind of like, oh good
50
God,
hours,
like
man, yawn.
I know, you
yawn.
know, it's still like, to me that was like a lot, but I loved it. But still, it's like, do I want to do another one of those massive games? And I somehow, I mean, I've always been like a massive Star Wars fan, like childhood, even prequels when I was, younger into teenage years. It was just kind of like, I've just always been obsessed with it, but I've been kind of like, I've laid off Star Wars a lot in the recent years. Like the last time I was really into it was like in high school, and I haven't watched any of the movies since high school, which is now like, 8 to 10 years ago, which maybe that makes me seem not so, whatever, shut up. But still.
Oh, so young.
But like something about this year and the new movie, and I think it was just like random like trailers and reviews I was watching, and not to mention like that anytime you put the Star Wars music on anything, like there's a 90% chance I'll buy it. Like I almost something about it just gets me so excited.
Yeah, I almost went past copyright rules and just put the stupid intro in here because everybody else is doing
so
it.
Epic, right? But yeah, it was basically an impulse download. I was actually, now that I work at a job where I get cash money in addition to a normal paycheck, I'm not going to reveal exactly what I do. But I was like,
yeah, I know he does.
Amiibo dealer.
I'll take that. Shut up. I was like, I was just going to wait until, my cash money day and use that and get Star Wars. But then I was like, I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to download it right this second because I need it in my body. And
wow.
Really, I'm like obsessed with it. And I haven't even played the real big 40-player modes yet. I've been playing like the team deathmatch and like the hero team deathmatch, which still are just like a blast to me. Like I've been playing, like any time you play as one of the hero characters, it like plays their, like not their music, but it plays, a bit of classic Star Wars music, and you get like their move set. So like Luke Skywalker is my favorite character to play as. Like anytime I'm playing a multiplayer match and I'm him, I'm just like grinning. I'm having so much fun. Like I just love every second of it. Not to mention, as the game downloads, this was reported a couple weeks ago or whatever, but I didn't know this. As the game downloads, because it's such a massive thing, you get to play a little mini game as Darth Vader, where you run around this Hoth base and you're killing all the rebels, and it's like the most amazing thing. Like, just have this little Hoth base where you run around as Darth Vader and you're like force choking people and you're jumping around and slashing. Oh, it's like so fun. But in general, like I haven't dug deep into the game yet. My actual play time is like 2 hours in the past 2 days. But every match, I'm still just like, I'm loving it. And I haven't even touched like the single player offline stuff. There's even split screen that I didn't even realize I had split screen, but that makes me so happy.
Yeah, because Halo don't.
I know Battlefield does, or Battlefront does. God, it's Freudian slip.
Wow.
But But it's just amazing. Like the graphics in particular, like this is the best looking game I've literally ever played in my life, and I'm not even exaggerating. Like it's literally you're walking through like the rainy indoor forest, and you're just like, my God, this is the most beautiful thing ever in a video game. I love it. Like I'm so up on it.
So I have a question then.
Yeah.
Do you think that's because this game is smaller in scope than a lot of the games that come out?
Yeah, I mean, I totally don't doubt that they, cut some corners to make it look and run as good as it does. But it really is like a solid 1080p, 60 frames per second. Like, maybe it's not 1080p. Maybe it does some of that downscaling stuff.
Yeah, there's a little bit of it. I think PS4 is 900, and I think Xbox One is 720.
Yeah, but still, like, it looks, completely gorgeous every second. And the frame rate doesn't dip once. Like, it's just so buttery smooth. And that's, especially in the shooter, like, that's the most important thing for me, is just how smooth it feels. Like, even Destiny, when it's at 30 frames, like, it just feels a little bit slower and choppier. And I think, as a result, like, the shooting doesn't feel as precise. But in this game, it just feels, like, so crisp that everything you want to happen pretty much does happen. And, gosh, I'm just, every time I play a game, my first reaction is always going to be way more positive than it will be like in 3 months from now when I've had time to reflect and really whatever. But still, like, I'm just obsessed with it, and I can't wait to go play more.
It's like, hype. Well, yeah. So what I can tell you is, for at least from my perspective, right, there is a companion app for the game.
I downloaded it, yeah.
Yeah, actually. And it's kind of a fun little tower defend type mobile app game. But the cool thing is you defeat the levels, you get stars, and when you get enough stars, those points translate into the game, the actual game itself, so that you can trade them in to get new weapons and new gear and new faces and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Aesthetic type stuff. Wait, what?
The mobile game?
Yeah, the mobile game unlocks stuff in the real game. So, like, I can be getting credits and starting buying new weapons and upgrades.
I was just going to say, because that thing's been out for a while, hasn't it?
There's app? Like a different Star Wars.
Yeah, no, it's different.
I don't know.
I think
they've been,
anyway.
Pimping it out like the poor little prostitute it is, but
emphasis on little.
But yeah, maybe there's multiple ones, whatever. But
yeah, I mean, look, at the end of the day, again, it's getting great reviews. If you're a huge Star Wars fan, most people really, really are enjoying it. Some of the critique so far has really been primarily based around, hey, we're all allowed to have a brief interlude. Primarily based around, some people think the music's kind of meh, so they turn it down. Like in-game, like some people say some of it just doesn't quite fit, which, okay,
I will
fine.
agree with that. There's like the real Star Wars music, which is, as amazing as ever. And then sometimes it turns into this like original music, which is way lower quality. Like it's not awful, but it's just compared to the real Star Wars music, it definitely stands out.
Yeah, it's getting notice on the interwebs. And the other thing that's interesting too is a lot of people are like, hey, it's great, but not all the game modes are really very good. So people, are settling on like 2 or 3 of them, and almost all of them. Well, I mean, basically the game, unlike Fallout 4, is almost entirely online multiplayer. So it's like the completely opposite end of the spectrum, where there really isn't. I mean, there is a single player kind of a small multiplayer type environment, not a campaign mode specifically, but it's all go run around and shoot people. Why not?
Yeah, like I haven't even touched the offline missions, and there's like 2 different types. There's like a soft sort of campaign style, even though there's no story mode. Like there's still missions from the movies that you play through.
Right.
And in addition to that, there's like a horde mode, wave mode kind of thing, which is, every game under the sun has that. But still, it's cool that, assuming PlayStation Network gets taken down for the umpteen millionth time, or, they're having maintenance, whatever, there still is, it seems like a lot of stuff to do without the internet connection. And like I said, all that stuff can be played split screen. Like I don't think you can do split screen with like the 40 player modes, like the actual online modes. But any of like the mission modes you can play with a buddy on the couch there with the controller. You got to have another controller. But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely going well. I mean, so far, I mean, it's been a day, I guess. But
Yeah.
so far,
Yeah.
people really enjoying it.
I will say, so many games have these massive technical hiccups on their first day of launch and stuff going bad everywhere. And I've only had one time, and I've probably played like dozen so matches that are I've probably played 12 to 15 matches. And only one of them that I really disconnect from, and I'm sure it was because of my own internet, not because of the game. But compare that to when Battlefield 4 came out, there was like all this press about stuff, not connecting and the servers being, nightmarish and awful. But this game is just like straightforward. You hit team deathmatch, and a couple seconds later, you're playing team deathmatch. Like there's no hoops and hurdles and BS. Like that's what I really like about it, especially compared to Call of Duty we were talking about. There's like so bogged down with so many modes and options and all this stuff. Like this game is this really, even though people say it's, lack of content, I kind of like the fact that it's not super overly complicated. Like that was one of the things that appealed to me over Fallout 4 was, all right, I could just play some Star Wars, play as a stormtrooper, have fun, shoot it Han Solo and whatever, have a good, 30-minute thing and just be done with it. Like I really like how simple it is so far, actually.
Yeah, that's been my impression of it as well. It's simple.
And the menus are so clean. It's easy to navigate. You know what you're doing at all times. Like it's really good.
Totally agreed.
Cool.
So hey, if you're looking for something fun to play, there is no short supply of all the things for you to.
I think
pick from.
if the gamer feed consensus, if I can sum everybody's opinions up, even though we haven't played Call of Duty, we aren't high on it. I would say if you're looking for a single player game, for sure go Fallout. If you're looking for a multiplayer game, skip Blops and go to Battlefront. That'd be my,
Blops.
Blops.
Yeah, the fact that somebody came up with that acronym basically means the game is poo. Anyway,
Blop. It's the same noise the turd makes when it hits the toilet. What?
Wow.
Oh,
sorry. That was disgusting.
Wow.
That was graphic. Just take that whole thing out of the podcast.
Nope. That's not how this works anymore. Okay. So, what? So the last major topic, of course, and it will take the rest of the time, is in the last week we experienced the long anticipated continuation of the Nintendo Direct.
Oh, it was like a long 6 months there.
It was all quiet on the Western Front. Anyway, obscure book title for those of you who read. And
What's the book?
What's that? I don't even know. And so anyway, lots of interesting news came from the Nintendo Direct. I'll go ahead and in no particular order just kind of go through some of the highlights, and Brad, keep me honest if there's anything I'm missing. The first bit of news is that we're getting a Twilight Princess HD.
Yeah. With Wolf Link Amiibo.
What up? So in case
I don't even like that game. It's probably my bottom 3 Zeldas would be Twilight Princess in there somewhere.
Really?
Still, I mean, I'm like the massive Zelda fan, obviously, and even bad Zelda games are better than 99% of the games out there. But that's one that I'm not even that high on, and I don't really plan on getting the HD remake. But that Wolf Link Amiibo, I want so bad.
You fool. But anyway, so they're doing the same thing they did with Wind Waker, which is cool. And, I think it's a good strategy for them. It gets a really good, well-received Zelda title in people's hands early next year. And you get a fun little Amiibo toy, I guess, if you're a collector, like several of us might accidentally be secretly.
Oops. What?
What?
Huh?
What? Huh?
Definitely not
They
me.
did say that the other Zelda series Amiibo works in the game too. So I have like the Toon Link and the Ganondorf.
Yep.
So they're going to do something in the game. And they announced that the Wolf Link Amiibo is somehow going to carry over to the Wii U Zelda, the like new one. They said there's some kind of compatibility there too, which is bizarre.
That'll
Which
be
they did
interesting.
show a 13-second clip of Link, you guessed it, in a grassy field. So
Yeah, with a confirmation that we can expect to see Zelda U, or whatever it shall be known shortly, I hope, in 2016. But many, since you mentioned it, many people have since done a slow down sort of let's sit around the table and try to figure out what's going to happen, much like they did with Twilight Princess, as memory serves. And there is one piece of that slow motion clip that is particularly interesting, and that was in one part towards the end, before it shows the 2016 date. There's a picture. You're looking kind of like at Epona, and then Link is sitting on the back, and his one leg on the side of the horse is kind of exposed, and there's what appears to be a book, some kind of book strapped to his leg with like a jewel in it. And so
it's got some kind of colorful looking blue thing.
Yeah, people were speculating that book has something to do with the foundational component of the game. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah. It's so funny because I think I watched one of those. It was like Game Explain, I think.
Yeah.
But it's literally 13 seconds of footage, and they made a 9-minute video breaking down the 13 seconds, which I was just like cracking up. Like like everything they brought up was like perfectly reasonable and really cool speculation.
I was going to say nobody likes Zelda, right?
Yeah, I cannot wait for that game, and I'm so hoping it's an NX game.
It's going to be a bridge title.
Play it. Yeah, I don't want to really play it on the Wii U at this point. Like, I just want Nintendo's new hardware to be out, and I want to play a new Zelda on it.
Yeah, I totally agree with you, and they're going to do the same with it that they did with Twilight Princess, so hopefully that doesn't portend to your previous experience, Bradley.
Oh, no way. But speaking of Twilight Princess again real quick, it does look really good, and I'm sure they're going to make improvements to the game, kind of like they did with Wind Waker, where they speed up the sailing and they, fix the Triforce quest at the end of Wind Waker.
Mm-hmm.
I really want to see them fix some of that stuff because my least favorite part about that game is the shadow world where you're the wolf and you have to get these stupid bugs and you have to do it like 4 different times, and it's just so obnoxiously long, and you have to just hunt down these dumb bugs with your wolf senses, and like it's so tedious, and the rest of the game is so great, but those parts just kill me. I'm just not a fan. Yeah.
I don't think they'll get rid of that, but
yeah, but maybe they like speed it up or make it so instead of getting 15,
you get 3.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet the house on it, but
probably not. But it's interesting to see what changes they make if they do make any.
I agree. I do agree with that. I concur. So, okay, there's some Zelda news for those of you who care. The other thing is, I don't know that this was specifically announced. I didn't really watch all of the Direct, but there's a lot of bundles coming out for the holiday. The most snazzy one is the $250 Wii U Deluxe system with Splatoon and Smash Brothers.
Yeah, that's such a good deal.
That's ridiculous.
I need to buy that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. If it weren't for Nintendo coming out with almost certainly a new system next year, like that would be such a crazy good deal. But as of now, like it's hard for me to recommend it because the NX is potentially right around the corner.
Right. Other than you miss out on whatever was in this particular generation, although brief. You're right. It'll be interesting to see if there'll be any backwards compatibility with the next system. Because of the challenges that they had with the Wii U. That would be smart of them if they could figure it out.
Yeah, I'm not the, NX hype for the millionth time, but, I'm so, anxious about what they're going to do with that because I love Nintendo so much and I love their games so much, but Wii U is such a dud that, like, I really want to see them get it right on the next one.
Yep, I agree. I totally agree. Another bit of news, in case you don't look at the internet at all ever during the day for a week, you should know by now that There will be one final Smash Brothers Direct before the end of the year.
Yeah.
And it was announced that the one and only Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII will be a playable character in Smash Bros.
Insane, right? That's such a big deal.
Insane. And the moves look so cool, and he's got like multiple like limit breaks and summons and all kinds of things. It just looks sweet.
I'm really surprised they did that.
I think it's genius.
Nobody in a million years would have guessed. If you had to make a list of like 100 Smash Bros. Characters, like Cloud wouldn't have been on that list of like what you really thought would have been made.
Well, but if you think about
I understand he's not PlayStation exclusive, but still, like, it just seems kind of weird.
Yeah, totally. But if you think about it, I mean, like Solid Snake even, and like
but
Pac-Man, but
yeah, I guess you're right. But I don't know. I
mean,
I'm excited.
Solid Snake was on a Nintendo console. Cloud has never been.
Yeah.
Cloud has never been on a Nintendo console. All those characters have had a history with Nintendo. Cloud is not one of those characters.
Yeah.
And so it's just so strange.
Well, but remember though that Nintendo did put out in the spring that vote for the characters that you want to see as future DLC, and I wouldn't be shocked at all that is a direct response to fan request.
Yeah. And I'm sure, Square Enix is making like a
schload
big part of that.
Oh, yeah.
Money. Yeah.
I'm sure Square Enix is laughing their way to the bank right now.
Yeah. Yeah, Nintendo might not even come out on top on this one. This is just Square's move. Square, as we know, has very bizarre financials. And this could be just a huge win for them and a marginal win for Nintendo.
Well, and also, I mean, it might just be a bridge for the future, maybe to bring the series, the main series, I guess I should say, back to Nintendo. And make
actually,
multi-platform.
Yeah, because we saw it with Xbox last generation when 13 came out on Xbox, and that was a big deal. But there's a lot of, wishful thinking and scuttlebutt about maybe, like you just said, that Final Fantasy does make us like a real traditional return to Nintendo, beginning with maybe 15 being an NX game next year, and with potentially the 7 remake coming out on NX. But yeah, that'd be real exciting to see. Because I think if you went back and looked at the 7 remake announcement, I don't think they ever said only on PS4. I think they said first on PS4. I think
that's exactly what they said, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it is supposed to be a PlayStation exclusive.
Oh,
but
maybe it is.
Again, I could be totally wrong. They just threw that main character in the Smash Bros. So who knows?
Yeah.
When I saw that, I thought it was a joke.
Well, yeah, there were so many hoaxes. Yeah.
I really didn't think it was real. I watched it like 10 times. I was like, no, this is fake.
Like, well done, fake, right?
Yeah, no, it's real. Holy shit. Cloud's on Smash Bros. Like, there's like old like internet like Newgrounds shit about Cloud being in Smash Bros. And all of them were just making fun of the fact that he would never be in it, and like it always like depict like nerdy kids being like, "Let me explain if Cloud if Final Fantasy 7 was Super Smash Brothers." And I was like, so just like seeing all that kind of happen, I'm just like, really? They did it?
Yeah, I think it's great. I have to admit that even when I saw it the first time, it was IGN or somebody. I was like, oh, come on, guys. You're peddling this fake crap. We've been through this before. We thought it was Rayman. We thought it was somebody else. I mean, come on. And sure enough.
100% real.
Unbelievable. So you know what? Good for Nintendo. Good for Square. Good for Cloud.
Yeah.
Because I know he's wanted to slice up Mario for a long time.
Yeah, I bet. I'm also looking forward to the music being in Smash Bros.
Ooh.
Oh, that too, right? Yeah.
Yeah, and just
along
like
with the stage of Midgar or whatever it's called.
Yeah, Midgar.
And just being able to like throw down to some of the Final Fantasy VII music, like the boss music and the maybe even the Genova theme. That'd be freaking sweet.
Like that would be all right.
And just the idea of that music being in Smash Brothers, because I don't know, like I've always liked the one thing I like about Smash Brothers the most is like when I customize my own stages and what music plays when I play each stage.
Yeah.
I select my favorites.
I remember we
go.
did that when the Wii U one came out. You came over and we messed with all the sliders about how often the songs show up and stuff.
Yeah, I do that in Brawl all the time. All the time. That's like, I just want to hear Fire Emblem theme every time I play this level. I don't care. Like, it's a great theme.
Well,
so
the next thing that'll be real interesting to see is because every character that is in Smash Brothers has a corresponding amiibo. So the question is, would they create a $12.99 Cloud amiibo and sell $1 billion on one amiibo?
I bet my life.
Probably, yeah.
That's where Nintendo sees the real money in this.
Absolutely.
It's not just from the DLC, but from the figure.
I'd buy one.
Absolutely. I totally would buy one.
I have no amiibos. I have zero amiibos.
And then when the NX comes out and it has an amiibo reader built in, and the 7 remake comes out on NX, you can use your Cloud amiibo to unlock special things.
I love it. Best plan ever.
That's my conspiracy theory.
If it's true, more alcohol than you can possibly consume in an evening will be yours.
Nice.
Will be yours.
Speaking of and Smash Brothers, is the Throwdown, the Smash tourney, going to be around before the Cloud release or after?
Oh, we have to do it after.
Well, now we're going to have to do it after because it wouldn't be any fun if we couldn't have that as a part of the show.
Yeah. And
so that totally changes our plans. Damn you, Nintendo!
I will be Cloud for the tournament.
Nice.
I will. I'll go over the Brad. Brad, you don't even know I'm there. I'm going to be at your house playing a new Cloud character, getting ready. Because if I did Cotton Falcon, I'd beat you all again. It's just fact.
Oh,
but whatever.
I want to do Cloud.
So much smack.
If we do Smash Tourney number 2, and I'm gonna make sure I'm so good Cloud that it doesn't matter.
Word.
The thing is, I see him playing like Ike.
He could.
Yeah.
But when you see the moveset, though, I don't know. It's different enough. It could be really cool.
I get Shulk vibes out of him as far as like the big blade goes, like the big weapon.
Okay.
Like it could be that kind of
sword.
Shulk's from Fire Emblem, right?
Shulk's from Xenoblade.
Yeah.
See, show that I know.
Yeah.
Speaking of Xenoblade. Interestingly, aside from the fact that the game Xenoblade Chronicles X, which has been teased for well over a year now, releases on 12...
it's been teased for literally 3 years.
Whatever. Comes out on the 4th of December. It is mere weeks away. And today, while I work, I have Twitch running in the background, and I'm watching my favorite Destiny streamers talk and cause a ruckus. And today on King Gathalion, who's one of the more popular ones, he was approached by Nintendo and was permitted to do a 3-hour live stream sneak preview of Xenoblade Chronicles X, which I, of course, turned on and watched in almost its entirety. And It was really interesting to see the chat window on the side of the screen. Everybody's like, oh, is this coming for PlayStation? That's awesome. And it's like, no, it's actually Nintendo. People are like, wait, what? Wait, this isn't Xbox? This isn't... You're kidding, right? This isn't Nintendo. It is. So he played it for 3 hours. You got the cutscenes. You could see the menus. You could see him fight. You could see... The game looks terrific, guys. I mean, it looks great. It sounds great. You think they did that just to screw with people? Be like, here's all these PlayStation gamers, but they're actually Nintendo people? Well, it's really funny. Because actually, one of several of the folks in the chat stream were saying that it was really cool of Nintendo to kind of do that, even though it wasn't really announced with any great fanfare, because in their mind, it shows that Nintendo is in fact becoming more willing to be a part of that online streaming medium, which today it kind of resists a little bit, actually a lot. So I think it's terrific, and I hope that means that on something like an NX, we'll see a Twitch integration where you can stream live just like you can with all the other systems, and it steps up its game a little bit. Because let's face it, I mean, people are watching Fallout 4 and Battlefront and everything else on Twitch or YouTube gaming. Why can't I do the same thing for Smash Brothers or Zelda or Mario Maker?
Yeah, they did kind of miss the boat, especially on even Splatoon. Like, Splatoon's a really big competitive sort of game. Like, it's amazing that, there's as many people streaming it with these additional box hookup things as there are. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm sure the NX will have it built in the way the PS4 and the Xbox One do.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But it looked great, sounded great. People were really digging the music. The soundtrack's incredible, but I'm not surprised because their other Xenoblade was the soundtrack was outstanding, and it looks like it's true to the sequel. It's kind of like Fallout, lots of menus, lots of options, very JRPG in that way, but it looked terrific. And I was quoted several weeks ago saying I wouldn't buy another Nintendo game the rest of the year. And
you're lying.
I might get it. I haven't decided yet.
You're lying.
Very good. All right. Any other topics or anything for today's show as we approach the hour?
Real brief. I'll run through.
Get it.
I got a little mini list here. Star Fox Zero now comes out in April.
Boo.
Which is, I don't really care about the game, but maybe it's good. It'll be exciting if it's good. I'll be happy if it's good, right?
Whatever. Bridge title, anyway.
Huge deal. Mother 3, the super mysterious game, is getting released in Japan. But that means that it should be easy to translate and release here, which everyone would lose their minds if that came out here. Like, that's
Brad, you literally.
What?
I hate you. You got
what?
me I was about to scream yes, and then you finally said Japan. I was like,
oh, I know, right?
Oh,
yeah.
Ruin my. I'm sad
so
now.
Close. It's so close.
Please bring it here.
This is now my NX is turning into the most ridiculous thing ever, but I bet they do Virtual Console Mother 3 with NX at launch. You heard it here first. Everything that's related now is going to be NX.
Brad, because the NX is going to suck. You know that, right?
Well, I mean, think about it. At some point, Brad's going to get something right, and that's the part I think that sucks the worst.
Well, we'll see. I literally know anything Nintendo related. I'm just going to,
take it with a grain of salt
until it comes out. Splatoon got an update with stuff. Who cares? More amiibos come out next year. Who cares? Mario Maker gets a thing where you can go on the internet on a browser and look up levels and then download them to your Wii U when you get home. That's kind of cool, but who cares? Hyrule Warriors is getting a female Link called Linkle, which, who cares?
Wow.
Dragon Quest.
Even the Zelda guy says, who
yeah,
cares?
no. I'm not a Hyrule Warriors person, so I'm kind of meh. And this is for the 3DS Hyrule Warriors.
Legends or whatever. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, whatever.
Dragon Quest 7 and 8. I can't read Roman numerals. They're both finally coming out on 3DS next year. So for JRPG people, that's actually a big deal. Those games have been out in Japan for years, and now they're finally coming out here. Fire Emblem Fates is getting all kinds of Pokemon style different versions and bundles and who's its and what's its galore. That all comes out in springtime-ish, and it's 3 separate games, which is kind of exactly Pokemon style. But if you buy one, you get the other ones at a discount, I guess. Mm-hmm. So that's kind of nifty. Or you can get all 3 of them together for $80, which seems overpriced, but it's whatever. Speaking of Pokemon versions, finally we get Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on the 3DS Virtual Console. But not just, any regular port. It's actually with updated wireless trading. So you have so you have your OG red and blue version, and then you can still trade your Pokemon over a local wireless connection. So Kyle, it might be time to get a 2DS from Nintendo for $50.
Wait, they have $50?
Yeah, you can get a 2DS on their website for literally $40 or $50, I think.
Oh, okay. Merry Christmas, Kyle.
Yeah. And you can get Smash Bros that way. And you can get Cloud because Cloud will come out on the 3DS one as well.
Oh, no. There are so many things I'm getting on the 3DS that aren't
Yeah.
Smash Bros.
Yeah, but literally you can get a 2DS, even though it's still 3DS.
So,
You
Brad,
can get
we're going to let you
cost
do
of
the
a new-
highlight news reel, like, from now on. It's
Okay, good. I like this. This is my
You are totally hired.
Zelda Triforce Heroes is getting free DLC next month. Who cares? And this one I'm actually excited about because one of my like sleeper favorite games ever is Picross. Like any of the DS and 3DS Picross games, like I'm obsessed with. This is a Pokemon Picross game that comes out next month. But it's a free-to-play version, which is kind of meh. But hopefully it's as simple as, paying one thing to unlock everything, which I would totally do. But Picross, extremely underrated Nintendo puzzle game. Can't wait for the Pokemon version. And that about does it. That's the direct.
The news reel.
Well, that's what we should call it. We should call it Newsreel.
Yeah.
Instead of news feed, just Newsreel.
I mean, I don't know about that, but it does bring up a very timely topic, which is next week's show will be the November Noobs feed. So for all of you out there who are just waiting, and it is our most popular show.
It really is.
Every month it's hilarious. It's all the news noobs need to know, and got to jump in and check it out and hear our opinion on all the things from the month of November. That said, guys, anything else to share?
I can't wait to go play some more Battlefront.
Right?
I get paid Friday, so I'm buying a 3DS.
Oh, hell yeah.
Nice. We will check in next week and see how that status is.
We
Kyle.
better play, Kyle. We better be playing the original Pokemon games when
We
they
will.
come out.
We will.
Those come out in February. I forgot to add. They come out like February 20-something.
Great. Well, I'll spend that time playing X and Y. So
Nice.
Excellent.
Big deal.
Excellent. No pun intended. And with that, everyone.
Oh, I see what you did there.
And with that, I think it is safe for us to say that we can go ahead and call this episode a wrap. That all having been said, remember that you can check us out on Facebook or the Twitter at GamerFeed Radio. We do have a website, gamerfeedradio.com. All the podcasts and other news articles, as we decide to write them or not write them, are posted there for your reading, viewing, and listening pleasure. The podcast can be checked out literally everywhere around the world, including iTunes, iHeartRadio, TuneIn, and all those damn apps that aggregate podcasts for you. It's unbelievable. Don't forget next week's The Noobs feed, and until next time, gaming peoples, peace.
Peace.
Hey.